So especially in the family business as well, you get a lot more people that would want to see you fail, to be very honest. And that is something that initially would really affect me. So you have to work twice as hard to prove yourself. That is something that I've learned, and especially when I have a lot of doubts on myself, when I felt that I can't continue, as he has always given me the reason to continue. Make those people that support you happier, and let those people that want to see you fail really very much just let them be.
Now let's kick things off with getting to know Malacca Securities a bit better. So I understand it has deep family roots, but was it always in the plan for you to take over, or did you have other things in mind?
I think for Malacca Securities, we have started, it was established in year 1963. So we started with my grandmother, and we have now on our 61st year. And to be honest, it wasn't in the plans at all. I wasn't planning to come back to this, especially in this industry, especially when a lot of people are saying that stockbroking, it's a sunset industry, it's not an industry that a lot of maybe females would want to be in as well. But I was studying, so early on I was studying and I was living and I was working in London, and then had an issue with my work visa, so I took sort of a sabbatical while waiting for my visa to be renewed. I came back to Malaysia, and that's where I was like, oh, okay, I don't have much things to do. So that's when my dad was like saying, okay, you know what? Do you want to just come in and help out? And that help, supposed to be from just a 2-3 months thing, became like a 10-year journey for me now with Malacca Securities.
All right, so 10 years in, if you're going back to 10 years ago, online trading wasn't such a big thing. Like you said, it was seen as sort of like a sunset industry. So when you joined the business, what opportunities did you see then, and what were some of the changes that you implemented in the business?
So I think 10 years back when I first started, when I first joined Malacca Securities, we have actually already launched our online trading platform, M+ Online, that time, and it's only offering Malaysia stock trading to retail market. And so when I first joined, we already have this online trading portal, right? So with that in mind, we actually were doing a lot of marketing activities to promote online trading. But at the same time, what I noticed is that a lot of back-end processes, like account opening, onboarding a client, depositing, withdrawing, updating of details, all these things are done very manually. So if there's a surge of volume, we wouldn't be able to cope with it with our current sort of set of people and also systems, right? So that's where I looked into all the back office operations. How do we digitalize it? How do we automate it? And very much working on the back end of stuff. So in order to make sure that both sides, from the front end and the back end, is smoothly integrated, right? So you can't have like a very tech chunky platform in the front, but then the back is like everything people, right? So so that's where I was focusing on, and then that really paid off, to be honest. In year 2020, when COVID started, what happened was we adopted very well with the remote working arrangements, with all the online trading, online when the surge of online trading as well. We managed to still open our accounts. We managed to still business as usual for us, and so I think I would say that all this works really. You can see that it really paid off during that time, and now we are still doing a lot of all this continuous improvement of processes, because we know that this is how we would be able to serve our clients better.
Right. But essentially what you did, you came in, it's pretty much a very traditional, entrenched culture, work culture, right? But you have transitioned it into a more startup, tech-driven outfit.
I wouldn't say totally startup, but it's more young, definitely. And more agile.
Did you face any pushback when you came back?
So I think for once, I'm actually very fortunate to actually have the entire family support in any decisions I make throughout for the last 10 years, and they have been really sort of be there to advise me, to give me a lot of not just support but also advice and a lot of things during the entire journey, right? But I think definitely I do have pushbacks, but it's more on internal with our own internal stakeholders, like our own staff, the staff that have been with us for like 20, 30 years, right? So, for them, they need some time to sort of adjust as well. So I think I would say the main pushbacks I have is mainly with our own internal working group, but it's sort of, once we sort of explain to them why we're doing this and all these things, I think they understand and they accept it. So
How did you get their buy-in?
So we have to talk to them the whole time, explain to them patiently, and very much prove to them that, if you do this is what's going to happen, and we really prove it. So a lot of times you have to prove that you actually make that happen first before you can get that total buy-in.
Right, yeah, certainly.
So it's a process.
Now, looking at the market right now, there are many large international online trading platforms coming into Malaysia. How does Malacca Securities stay ahead, considering brokerage fees are under pressure?
Yeah. So for Malacca Securities, we position ourselves very uniquely in this industry, where we are a very technological, advanced company, but we also use a lot of people. So we have a team of over 250 dealer representatives that will be able to service our clients, and we have a very big back office operations and also back office support and call center setup.
Still need a human touch.
Yeah. So it's basically to really give that trust, like to tell people that you can trust us, especially when you're handling money. So this is where we find ourselves very unique in terms of. So we always pride ourselves as like a hybrid broker. And with competitions coming, we see this as our very big competitive advantage. So we are really building on this foundation alone, and with the help of the competition, we do see that people do trade in market more, in all three markets more, Malaysia, US and Hong Kong market more as well, because of the education, the knowledge that the competitors are bringing into the market as well. So it's actually good for, it's a win-win situation for all of us. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you then approach talent and culture management to help take the company to the next level? You still have a very large workforce by the sounds of it.
Yeah, so we do. So I think one thing that we would like to also say is that although we have a lot of dealer representatives, what commonly known as remises.
Yeah.
A lot of people would think that the remises are mainly old, or like they are mainly maybe 50s, 60s in already. But to us, a lot of our remises are actually very young. They are late 20s, 30s. So they are just starting into the market, and they actually really like the entire technological driven model that we have introduced to them, right? And they leverage on this platform to be able to serve their clients and give them personalized approach and service to clients, right? So we see people as our key main strategy. I wouldn't say like people are just part of it, but people itself is our strategy to really bring the company to the next level as well. So we focus a lot of high performance culture. So we actually got like a chief people officer in the last 2 years to actually help really instill this entire high performance culture throughout the entire company. And we also have a renewed vision mission to bring our people together, because earlier on our vision mission, it's very much very broad, but it's you can't really feel it, right? So our mission is very driven by the things that we're doing. So we are looking at, so our mission is simplifying investment services, creating a better life for everyone. And we're driven also by the vision that we have, which is to help 100 million people to succeed in investment. And that is something that I would say that a lot of our people can really see that happening. I think we are still far from the 100 million, but we can see that day on day in, we are actually achieving that, nearer to that target.
Okay, so it's just not the bottom line figures.
No, so I think that we want them to feel like they are a part of something big, and it's something that really impacts someone else's life. That's why we want to see that our clients being taken care of, our clients actually they felt safe putting their money with us.
Yeah,
I think that is what everything that we do.
So on a personal level, as a leader in a traditionally established industry, how do you balance meeting everyone else's expectations while making a mark with your own vision?
Okay, that's a tough one. I think for once is definitely, I would always say this to a lot of people as well. It's you just have to focus on what you do, right? You have to be laser focused on what you do, what you want to achieve, and how you're going to do that. You are definitely bound to have a lot of obstacles that comes, or I would say things that interrupt that. But you just have to refocus back into what you want to achieve at the end. Knowing what you want to achieve and focus on the thing that you need to do and want to do. That from then on, that's where you can actually start balancing your own expectation and what people's expectation is, and you have to accept the fact that you will never be able to satisfy every single person's expectation, right? So that's where I would say, with the help of Vistage as well, I have managed to make myself a lot more focused on just a few things than trying to do everything at once.
Okay, I'll get to Vistage in a bit, but I do wonder on a personal level, how do you silence that inner critic, especially, right, when you're hard on yourself, while handling external noises, while staying true to your vision for Malacca Security?
Yeah, so especially in the family business as well, you get a lot more people that will want to see you fail, to be very honest, and that is something that initially would really affect me, but I think along the way after growing up as well in the business, right, you start to really just stay focused on the things that you're supposed to do. So you have to work twice as hard to prove yourself. That is something that I've learned, and I think it's just part and parcel of being that is the perks of, I won't say perks, and also one of the things that you have to, if you are in a family business, right? And yeah, really stay laser focused, and I have, and luckily I actually have a sounding board with my mentor Richard, given me a lot of support throughout this journey, where especially when I have a lot of doubts on myself, when I felt that I can't continue, as he has always given me the reason to continue. One of it definitely is my family, but also why what I'm doing is actually right and truth to the market as well. Yeah. So I would say it's very much just focus, and just cut away all the noise, really. And because why we want to focus on the noises than people that support you, So focus on, make those people that support you happier, and let those people that want to see you fail really very much just let them be. There's nothing you can do. So just focus one part, be happy, and yeah.
Let's talk a bit more about how Vistage has changed you as a person. You have been with the group for almost 6 years now. Can you talk to us about how that has changed your trajectory a bit? Compared to 6 years ago's Chia Wei then and Chia Wei now.
Yeah, so definitely for sure, I'm a much more calmer and also a much more patient person now. So so thanks to my group, and also thanks to Richard on the entire support they have given me, and really made me a lot calmer, because every single time when I have issues, right, last time when I first started was I just sigh all the time, like, oh, there's so much things to do, there's this, and I feel anxious a lot. Like at any single one time I have a lot of anxiety every single day, and during my Vistage group, I would rant a lot to them. So they would just listen and support me. And then that's where I realized, actually what I need is just a channel for me to just express myself, and someone to listen, and that's where, I really thank them for taking in all this negativity, and really make it, for me, a positive action, right, that I would be able to implement throughout in my sort of career in my company. So that's something that I really truly treasure. And one other thing that also Richard has thought is, he used this word a lot, oppo threat, and that's where every single time when I have issues, I don't look at it as an issue, but I look at it as an opportunity for me to see the good out of, a threat or a situation. Yeah.
Now, finally, on this show for this year, we have started a tradition where we ask the person before you, the person that sat on this chair before you to come on the show, to leave a question for the next person. So your question actually came from Mr. Yi of Yike Porridge House, and his question is, how do you think you can be a better version of yourself in the future?
Wow.
It's quite a philosophical question.
Okay. I think for me, it's to be a listener more. I think earlier on I was, when I was in the company. When I am in the company, I'm very much more of like doer. I would just give the solution. That's where we want to go, and that's where everyone should need to implement or execute it, right? But now I would think for me to be better, and also better for the company as well. It's to really listen to what my management team has to say, my people have to say, because I think that's where we would then know what is best for the company.
Now, fantastic. Now, Chia Wei, one last question then. What's the one question you would like to ask the next Vistage CEO or leader that's coming next on the show?
Okay, okay, let me think. What would it mean for him or her to retire happily?
That's a wonderful question, and I'll be sure to pass it on to our next guest on the show. Thank you so much, Chia Wei, for coming on the show, and best of luck to you and to Malacca Securities. Thank you so much.